Finally here, the long-awaited DLC to Elden Ring. Not much else to say.
16.
Pure and radiant, he wields love to shrive clean the hearts of men. There is nothing more terrifying.
Beautiful.
In that forsaken place, blood must spill. Blood of your fellows. The Erdtree faithful.
It's an amazing room.
They were never saints. They just happened to be on the losing side of a war.
I'm gonna die to that.
Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction in one so bereft of light?
Okay. That was Kung Fu right there.
I presume you, too, are keen to know just what kind Mikala is doing here.
Those stripped of the grace of gold, shadow,
I think we just saw like 3 different bosses.
in the embrace of Lesmer's flame.
Come now. Touch the withered arm and travel to the
Wow.
realm of shadow. I will not be far behind. May we meet again.
Oh, is that a new weapon? June 21st, 2024. At least it doesn't coincide with the Dragon's Dogma 2 release, but it does come shortly after the ESO chapter for 2024. So I want to break this trailer down. And of course, I want to give a shout out to Cinex and Drew from our Discord server for also like offering lore insight. I haven't really caught up yet on everything on the ring. I got the basics down after like basically playing the game and researching and also watching other people's videos on it. So I'm kind of excited to give my own take and also share some of the theories floating around in the Elden Ring community about what's going on in this trailer. So
Pure and radiant.
I think there's a conversation going on here between the male narrator and somebody we don't know yet. There's a female narrator who might be speaking from the perspective of Mikala. And I'll kind of get into that because a lot of people think Mikala is the sibling of Nilandia, who you meet and fight in the base game, is a male. So there's some theories about that as well. So pure and radiant, he wields love to shrive clean the hearts of men. And the male narrator goes on to say, this is about Mikala, presumably, that there's nothing more terrifying than someone. And I think I've seen a couple other videos already where people were talking about, well, what does that even mean? Like, in such a terrible world, is love really that awful? And I think it's like a weaponization of love, where Mikala might basically be weaponizing love to get things what he wants. So it's pretty interesting. The contrast between love and death, life and death, or hatred and love. It's a very continuing theme, I feel like, in a lot of the side quests, especially in Elden Ring. And of course, beautiful scenery. There's going to be different environments. There's rumored that it's going to be about a third of the size of the game. From Software's DLCs never really failed to disappoint from what I've experienced and seen. So I don't think I've ever seen a DLC being panned ever. So this is gonna be a step up potentially from the base game in a variety of ways, I'm sure. The drapes over this tree, this kind of like Erdtree, or is really interesting. I don't know if it's like if it means it's a different realm, different world. It's like a veil over your kind of like reality. I feel like there's a symbolism here going on.
In that forsaken place, blood must spill.
Blood must spill in the forsaken place, and it makes it sound like the blood of your fellows, the blood of the Erdtree faithful. It sounds like it's a free-for-all, and I love the environment here, especially this potential warrior jars that's being hung and suspended from the rafters in this like circular area.
They were never saints. They just happened to be on the losing side of a war.
They were never saints. They just happened to be on the losing side of a war. They, not meaning, I don't know if it's going to refer to the fire giants or the others on their side before the shattering. So it's pretty interesting that there's a female narrator for this part. Again, that could be from the perspective of Miquella. This is freaky. I'm gonna die to it. 100%.
Mother.
So I think there's like two different layers to the whole snake here, because there's a snake slithering next to who's presumably Mesmer. And there's also different theories, like is Mesmer sort of like the male half or kind of male alter ego of Miquella, and people have speculated Saint Trina is the female half or female alter ego of Miquella, and that's Saint Trina is apparently some people have speculated represented to be by the kind of ethereal blonde here in the trailer and in other captures before the trailer released. So it's pretty interesting. There's also theories where this is not an actual physical realm in which we are entering, but maybe the mind of Miquella. And of course, that kind of calls into question, is Mesmer going to be a figment of Miquella's like imagination, or sort of like being in, I guess, himself represented in his own mind, or is this going to be an actual physical realm and Mesmer is a completely unintroduced character or demigod that's acting on a different kind of, I guess, wavelength compared to the ones acting on the 2 fingers and 3 fingers. So it's pretty interesting. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of lore theories, and I kind of want to know here the trailer description. A place obscured by the Erdtree, where the goddess Marika first set foot. So it has to be, in my opinion, and they call it the Land of Shadow, a physical realm, right? A land it can't be all in Miquella's head. That wouldn't make sense. But maybe it could, I don't know. A land purged in an unsung battle, set ablaze by the Mesmer's flame. Okay. It was to this land that Miquella departed, divesting himself of his flesh, his strength, his lineage, of all things golden. So there was also a post by Jeffrey Kiley from the Game Awards, and Miyazaki pointed out to Jeff that Mesmer's full name, or I guess title, is Mesmer the Impaler. So there's some interesting things going on here for sure in terms of like who this character might be and what they're doing. I will say this strikes a resemblance to the fire/thorn sorceries in contrast to the glintstone sorceries. I mean, that fire is not golden, it's not blue, it's black and red. And those eyes kind of reminds me of Praetor Riker's like snake form in Elden Ring. And of course there was a snake slithering across the floor next to him. And I think, as I was saying earlier, the snake symbology on 2 layers. I think first layer is, snakes in a lot of cultures represent danger or betrayal or something like that. Some cultures it doesn't mean that. And on the Elden Ring layer, it's like I'm pretty sure there is some lore about how the snake as a symbol, or serpents as a symbol, have been used by essentially heretics or betrayers. So I don't know. We'll see. I love this like dash. I wanna do that.
I presume you, too, are keen to know just what kind Miquella is doing here.
So Miquella is kind of made out to be like not a favorite child. I guess in some ways a favorite child, but also like someone who seems to use love or kindness as either a weapon or to their advantage. It's like unfathomable to some of these, I guess, characters that why would Miquella be in the Land of Shadows? And actually, Drew in the Discord brought up this Japanese Twitter post describing the, I guess, Mesmer character, and the seat Mesmer is sat upon is of the same seats that were on the stage for the battle against Morgoth, the Omen King, in the main game. He is a being of the same rank as the likes of Godric, Melania, Radon, and Rykard, and he's even called a child of Marika. And that just kind of goes against the whole theory of it being, I feel like, in Miquella's mind. And this whole thing about what is kind Miquella doing here? Again, a physical realm, in my opinion. I will say a lot of the environment looks like Nokron. And this is wicked. Like, what was going on? So if we look at this, that is coming. I mean, the rib cage is gone. That is the weapon that this guy's pulling out of his head.
Gates of gold, shadow meet death. In the embrace of Mesmer's flame.
Come
I'm assuming referring to the tarnished, the whole thing about like how they're stripped of the grace. I don't know if that really applies to us, but we'll see. Come now, touch the withered arm and travel to the realm of shadow.
and travel to the realm of shadow.
Who this is? Maybe it's Miquella, guiding us, or maybe one half of Miquella guiding us by having us touch his or her withered arm. Just the same way as in the finger maidens have to kind of have skin to skin contact, or I guess contact in general, with you to level you up. I think touch is a pretty strong theme, for sure. When you think about the hugs and the hand holding. Whatever the story may be, whatever the lore may be, it's gonna be wicked.